Today on Builds, we're going to install a rear torsion bar, upgraded MultiAir Springs, and we're going to add a little bit of engine bay bling to our Abarth 500. What's going on, folks? Eddie here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So this weekend we went down to Torque Motorsports. We thought we'd spend a Sunday working on the 500 since the 500 hasn't had nearly enough love lately. We've been waiting to work on this car so we could put in the larger turbo, but that stuffed turbo that we want to put in the car isn't really available yet. And the stuffed turbo that's in the 124, none of us are actually particularly happy with it, including John, which is one of the reasons John's revising that turbo. That's okay, that's not really a big deal. Now, the turbo should be ready soon, and I'm really looking forward to that, but in the meantime, we thought we'd get started on a couple other things. The rear torsion bar upgrade on an Abarth 500 is a great handling upgrade for these little cars. It's also a very cost-effective upgrade as well. The bar we're using is the ST Suspension's 25mm bar. It's about 3mm thicker than the bar that was on the car already, which was just an OEM bar that had been painted at a vendor in California. Now, that was just a bling upgrade. It was never supposed to be a performance upgrade in the first place, but with the direction we want to take this car though, it was time to do a little bit more of a suspension upgrade. On that note, I think this car really needs some coilovers as well. Now, the MultiAir Springs, we're gonna throw these in the car. It was a phenomenal upgrade on our slightly busted 124. It made the car a lot more fun to drive in its current state, which is essentially an oil-eating machine. Anyhow, so we thought we'd see what happens when we put these springs into a healthy MultiAir 1.4. Now, while we're doing these MultiAir springs, and anyone who decides to do this mod, A, highly recommend this mod, B, if you're going to do this mod, take the opportunity to make your engine bay look a little bit nicer. So while we had the valve cover off, we powder coated the thing wrinkle red, and it looks absolutely fantastic. One thing I'm super excited about at the moment is we have opened up our own website. You can find it at pistonspetrol.com. I'll put a link in the description below. Anyhow, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to hit that like button, smash it if you so desire, and don't forget to subscribe. It's what your mom would want you to do, and your dad would probably ring the notification bell.
Well, I could sit here and talk like Super Dave all day too.
That'd be pretty good.
I don't think you have much choice, to be honest.
Put this on too, and
I can walk around, walk around in the race suit.
Oh, Super Dave is tall too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. You are kind of Super Dave right now. He got that at Madness in California when he was there.
Gonna have to pull the tire off.
Why? Yeah.
The taper head is so short on this one
Yeah.
that you won't be able to push it through and then push it back through.
When breaking loose corroded bolts, using something like PB Blaster or WD-40 will go a long way. Ideally, if you can soak something in PB Blaster the night before doing the job, it'll make it a lot easier getting these bolts out. Yeah, there you go. There's just some things you can't really pull off at home. It's like this. I guess you really could, but the level of impact needed to get those two things. Yeah, exactly.
$25 versus
22.
22.
It's almost exactly 3mm thicker.
it wasn't. They're good.
Hold on.
Hold on, let me see.
That was a solid hit.
I think this might be bent.
Oh! Oh, good God, I did. I bent it.
You bent it.
So here's the problem. Is it? We'll be able to get it that far in. We gotta pull these two bolts off.
Today on another episode of Things You Can Do at Home in Your Garage. I wish I lived here.
Yep.
You pushed it a little bit hurt. You want to get...
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa, you hammered it from the back. Is it going to like that? You know, pulling out's not a good way to do it, right?
I've got 4 kids, no shit.
So this right here, this is the MultiAir block.
It's so small.
It's tiny.
And then
if you look right here, that spring right there, that's what's being replaced.
Where's the spring?
Right here.
In front of that valve?
Yeah,
Ah.
that's right. Well, it's on the other side of a solenoid. So the cam, this lobe turns, moves this and pressurizes, and that spring just really decides how quickly it returns, ultimately.
Here's the stupid question. I'm sure you've gone over it in one of our videos. The MultiAir, is it regulating the airflow?
MultiAir?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like takes the place of your intake cam, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
It's just done with hydraulic pressure instead, so it can be computer controlled to go outside what the cam would usually do. Like have the valve open twice in one cycle, for example. That's your intake valves. So when that the MultiAir brick, literally, it pushes these down using hydraulic pressure. But that's the inside.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that looks pretty good. What do you folks think? I don't understand why people don't do this more often. In fact, John and I were just talking about this. It's one of the greatest looking mods you can do under the hood of your car. In fact, if you guys end up doing any of these MultiAir Springs, take that moment, do something with your valve cover. You might as well while it's off, right? You can use a high temperature paint. You don't have to do a powder coat like we did. If you can have the car be down for a few days, I'd encourage you to get your valve cover powder coated. It's just gonna be stronger than paint and it's gonna look fantastic. Anyhow, I guess all that's left is to see how it feels. Yeah, let's see what Jason thinks.
That is a noticeable difference.
Is it?
It honestly feels like the day you put the tune in the car. Yeah. Like it feels like that much of a jump up. Yeah. And at like 3,500 RPM, yeah, it really throws you in the seat.
So unfortunately, we didn't get time to dyno the car, which is kind of irritating because typically we dyno everything we do with these cars. Fortunately, we have a lot of before dyno runs with the Abarth 500 saved, and we're gonna go check and see what it does after. We'll be doing that this weekend coming up. That means in an upcoming video, you folks will get to see what those MultiAir Springs did. Based on what I've seen from the Abarth 124 and some other vehicles that have these springs in them, it should be a healthy healthy boosted numbers. As you can see, the driver of the car is pleased with the upgrade. These things are a palpable seat of the pants difference in the car, which is a pretty huge thing considering that most intakes on cars are not a seat of the pants difference. That job, what we just did there, if the valve cover wasn't being coated, that's about a 30-minute job for someone like John to do. For most folks, I'd say it's about an hour to change those MultiAir Springs. Working on that section of your engine is really not all that difficult, and it doesn't have that much risk. You want to be careful and you want to put things back to their torque specs, but ultimately, it's really not that difficult to do. Anyhow, what do you guys think of these upgrades? Would you consider installing a set of MultiAir Springs in your car? Do you think that's a bigger job than I think it is? Let me know. Tell me in the comments below. Otherwise, later.